feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Ryan Giles with Brian Giles MTG. And we are back with more flooded Bloomburrow spoilers. And ironically, our first card for this video is Into the Floodmaw. So a blue mana for instant that reads, you can gift a tapped fish. Return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. The gift was promised, instead return target non-land permanent an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Hoo-ha. It's pretty powerful if you give the gift. They get a little tapped 1/1 creature, but you get to get rid of one of their non-land permanents, which includes artifacts and enchantments and whatnot. Next up, we have Nettleguard. A white and 1 for 3/1 Mouse Soldier with Valiant. Whenever Nettleguard becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, it gets +0/+2 till end of turn. And you can pay a generic and sacrifice to destroy target artifact or enchantment. That's much like the one card out of Midnight Hunt that does basically the same thing. With this, you can get some defense if it becomes a target of spell or ability you control. So hoo-ha. We have Waxwane Witness. So a white and 3 for 2/4 Bat Clerk with Vigilance. If you gain or lose life during a turn, Waxwane Witness gains +1/+0 till end of turn. So if you're gaining life and losing life, you're just beefing this. You can beef this guy up, especially if you're bringing in. If you've got a life gain thing for creature life gain type thing, and you're bringing in a lot of creatures, like say combining this with your bunny rabbits. Yeah, this guy can get out of pocket quickly. Then we have Light Shell Duo, which is a blue and 3 for a 3/4 Rat Otter with Prowess. When Light Shell Duo enters, Surveil 2. So this is another, duo creature that we have. There's a cycle of them. We have Waterspout Warden. So a blue and 2 for a 3/2 Frog Soldier. Whenever Waterspout Warden attacks, another creature enters the battlefield under your control this turn, it gains flying until end of turn. Okay. So if you put a creature in the battlefield, this guy does a frog leap. Hoo-ha. We have Darkstar Augur. So a black and 2 for a 2/3 Bat Warlock with Offspring of a black mana. So you can pay an extra black mana to create a 1/1 token copy of this. It has flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. Put that card into your hand. You lose life equal to its mana value. So your You're cheating some cards off the top of your library. Hoo-ha. Then we have Starlit Soothsayer, a black and 2 for a 2/2 black cleric with flying. Gain your end step if you gained or lost life this turn, surveil 1. Hoo-ha. Then we have Wix Patrol. So 2 black and 4 for a 5/3 rat warlock. When Wix Patrol enters, mill 3 cards. When you do, target creature and opponent controls gets -6/-6 till end of turn, where X is the greatest mana value among cards in your graveyard. Hoo-ha. Guy's a pretty beefy guy, and, you know, you get -X/-X, and if you've got some big cards in your graveyard, this guy's going to do stuff. We have Frilled Spark Shooter. A red and 3 for a 3/3 lizard archer with menace and reach. Frilled Spark Shooter enters with a +1/+1 counter on it if the opponent lost life this turn. Okay. Well, certainly the lizards tend to do that. Take out the trash because it's a Trash Panda card. Red and 1 for an instant that reads. Take out the trash, deals 3 damage to target creature, planeswalker. If you control a raccoon, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So, trash pandas are throwing trash at you. And maybe while they're doing it, they find something interesting. We have Clifftop Lookout, a green and 2 for a 1/2 Frog Scout. Clifftop Lookout enters, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a land card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That's, 3 mana for a land card. And he's got reach too, so he can block the weenie flyers. So he's really kind of useful. We already went over Peerless Recycling, which is absolutely nutty. Or in this case, trashy. So next up is Polywallop. I hate ads. So a green and 3 for an instant that reads, spell costs 1 generic or less to cast for each frog you control. Target creature you control deals damage equal to twice its power to target creature you don't control. So it's a frog fight spell. It's a Frogs Matter fight spell. Next up we have Helga Skittish Seer. So this is probably going to be in one of the commander decks, although it does not have a commander symbol on it, but it's a green, a white, and a blue for a 1/3 Frog Druid. Whenever you cast a creature spell, mana value 4 or greater, you draw a card and gain a life. And put a +1/+1 counter on Helga Skittish Seer. You tap it to add X mana of any one color where X is Helga Skittish Seer's power. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells with mana value 4 or greater, or creature spells with X in their mana. Oh dear. Yeah, this is crazy. So it's life gain +1/+1 counters on her as long as it's mana value 4 or greater. And she becomes a mana dork for she's a mana dork as well, and you can use it to cast those 4 power or greater. This thing is going to be an absolute bomb in Commander. I mean, a commander that's a mana fixer, especially for your your higher value cards, and it's in green, which you're already ramping in. This thing just ramp, and more ramp. Get your big creatures out faster. Yikes. Next up, we have Vine Reap Mentor. A black and green for a 3/2 squirrel druid. When it enters or dies, create a food token. Hey, more food is always better, especially for your forage decks. Next up is Bumbleflower's Sharepot. Second artifact we've seen. 2 mana for an artifact that reads, when it enters the battlefield, create a food token. Okay. Pay 5, tap it and sacrifice it. Destroy target non-land permanent, activate only as a sorcery. So you create you create some food, and then you can use it to destroy non-land permanents. Hoo-ha! Kind of useful, especially in limited. Next up, we have Hidden Grotto. I think this is a reprint, but Hidden Grotto enters, surveil 1, tap it to add a colorless, or pay 1 and tap it to add 1 mana of a color. So kind of a limited mana fixing tool with a little bit of card fixing. Next up, this is the most powerful of the seasons, and it absolutely deserves its mythic rating. So, unlike most, it is 2 green and 4 instead of 2 colored and 3. Choose up to 5 paw prints of modes. You may choose the same mode more than once. 1 paw print, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains vigilance and trample till end of turn. You can do that up to 5 times. 2 paw prints. Choose artifact or enchantment. Destroy all permanents of the chosen type. Big squeeze me. Did somebody just bring back a card from, the original set? I mean, disenchant, this thing gets rid of all artifacts or all enchantments. And if you have 5, you can choose both of them and still have enough to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. But number 3 is draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. So you can put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature to make it big, and then draw cards equal, to its greatest power. This thing is so versatile, so powerful. The 2 paw prints ones is absolutely insane. So next up, we have Gossip's Talent, a blue and one for an enchantment class for level 1. Whenever a creature you control enters Surveil 1. Whenever you attack level 2 for a blue and 1, you get whenever you attack, target attacking creature with power 3 or less can't be blocked this turn. And for a blue and 3, you get level 3. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may exile it and return to the battlefield under its owner's control. Ew, so you can bounce the creature. You can blink the creature if it deals combat damage. And if it's power 3 or less, it's already unblockable. You're just doing stuff. Next up is Whiskervale Forerunner. So a white and 3 for a 3/4 mouse bard. Whenever Whiskervale Forerunner becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time, each turn look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card with mana value 3 or less from among them. You may put it onto the battlefield if it's your turn. If you don't put it onto the battlefield, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So, target this with a spell or ability, and it becomes a free creature if it's your turn, or a creature to your hand if it's not. So, hoo-ha. Next up, we have Mouse Trapper. So, a white and 2 for a 3/2 mouse soldier has Valiant. Whenever Mouse Trapper becomes a target of a spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, tap target creature your opponent controls. Okay. Hoo-ha. Then we have Curious Forager. So a green and 2 for a 3/2 squirrel druid. When Curious Forager enters, you may forage. When you do, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. Exile 3 cards or sacrifice a food to get a permanent card from the graveyard back to your hand. Not unhappy with that. We have Plume Creed Escort. So a blue and 1 for 2/1 bird scout with flash and flying. Plume Creed Escort enters, target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. Okay. Next up is another insane artifact. This is Wishing Well. So for a blue and 3, you get an artifact. Tap it to put a coin counter on Wishing Well. When you do, you may cast target instant or sorcery card with mana value equal to the number of coin counters on Wishing Well from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. The spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Activate only as a sorcery. Excuse me? Free instant and sorcery spells? Equal to the number of coin counters? And, you may cast. So you can build up your coin counters and then choose, when you want to spend them. So next up is Daring Wave Rider. A beefy 2 blue and 4 for a 4/4 otter wizard. When it enters, you may cast target instant or sorcery spell, mana value 4 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. That spell would be put into your graveyard, exile instead. Excuse me? Free mana value 4 or less spells? Instant and sorceries? This thing is going to be a crazy valuable, and it's only uncommon. Who the blazes put it in uncommon? This thing is like mythic level. That's insanity. And we're at 20 minutes and we still got more stuff to go. So next up we got Kingfisher. 2 blue and 3 for a 4/5 bird knight with flying. Whenever another non-token bird you control enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 blue fish creature. So this thing creates fish. So hoo-ha. And finally, for right now, we have Long River's Pole at 2 blue mana. You can, for an instant read, you can gift a card. Counter target creature spell. If the gift was promised, instead counter target spell. Okay, so counter spell with a little bit of gift action on it. That's a little crazy. Because you can counter a creature without having to gift the card, but you can counter any spell with, and that's a 2 mana, like a generic counter spell. You just have to gift a card. That's a little nutty. And again, it's uncommon. Well, counterspell's uncommon, but yeah. Hoo-ha. Well, that's it for the spoilers for today, at least for right now. We will see you on the next crazy Bloomburrow spoiler video.